do we go from here? Who learned something over the last couple days? 3 days, yeah. Who learned a lot over the last few days? It's like drinking out of a fire hose. So I want to talk about, and I'm going to bring a couple people up, but I want to talk about really kind of how to take all of that's out here and just kind of condense it down. Because we all have been to these conferences where you learn a bunch of stuff and then you leave and you do nothing with it because there's just so much going on. We all understand that. So I want to encourage you. You got to get your mind right first before you start to implement all of these things. You don't want your teams to kill you, right? You don't want to go back and say, we're going to do this, 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 and this, and then in 6 months your team hates you and you're changing things, okay? So I really think you need to take some time, get your vision together, and the way I put it is, I look 30 years into the future, try to, no one can really do that, but you can try and you visualize where do you want to be in 30 years. And I wish Stephen Lefkoff was here, and I've had this conversation with a few of you, but we had that conversation about a year ago, and I was asking him, okay, what time do you get up in the morning whenever you're 65, right? Okay, what do you eat for breakfast? Who's there with you? Are you still married? All these things. Do you have grandchildren? Are you playing with your grandchildren? Are you going to their games? And really thinking about those things, okay? Because it's really, 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 really important. Okay? Once you've gotten that down, once you've actually taken the time to think about that, right? I want you to think of a product goal. Okay, and I know Jay kind of talked about it. There's lag indicators, lead indicators. There's a lot of things that people call them, but I call it a product goal. It's what Jason Selk calls it. Amelia talked about Jason Selk. And if you've not read that book, you should definitely read his book. He's great stuff. But you need to set a goal for yourself, okay? You need to set a goal for yourself over the next quarter, okay? And you know what? The great thing is you can actually set a goal for yourself by the end of the year, okay? Think about that. You've got, it's now October, you've got November and December, and you can knock out some really cool goals over the next couple months, right? You want to pick that, all right? Once you have picked that, you now have to figure out the things that you need to do to meet that goal, right? It's really simple. There's all these things that you've got these ideas, but you got to pick that one thing to implement. What's that one thing that you can pick to implement that's going to radically change your practice? Don't go and try and do all of these things. Pick the one, the most important one that's going to make a difference in your firm, the most important one. And then after you've done that one, move on to the next one. After you've done that one, move on to the next one. After you've done that one, move on to the next one. Jeff Jones, are you here? You're not here. I didn't think you were. Jeff, and I'm gonna call him out, and I told him I was going to call him out. So Jeff was on a hot seat in the Guild it was February 9th of this year, okay? And he wanted to start building out systems, okay? And that was, I think, 32 weeks ago. And he, on his hot seat on the other day, had still not built out any systems, right? And my point to him was, if you had built out one system a week, if you just picked out just one little system, spent a little bit of time each week, he would have had 32 systems in place, right? That was his process goal that he should have been focusing on. And he promised by the end of the conference he will have that table of contents. I bet he will. But that's what he should be focusing on. That's what you all should be doing. You should be finding out that one thing, pick it, and focus on it, okay? Brooks, you promised me you'd come up here, so come on up here. So I kind of like the seating thing, so let's do the seating thing. I liked it. I got a microphone up here, so I'm going to ask you, hopefully you've got a vision, because I didn't ask you about your vision, but...
Oh yeah, vision.
Let's see. Have a seat.
Grow up to be like Tyson.
Bill Umansky, you're up next.
Is that working? Hey.
So have you thought about your vision?
My vision?
Your vision for the future.
Yeah, I think I want to go home at 4. I want to play with my kids. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old and a baby on the way. I love my wife. One of the things you hit on, I guess maybe yesterday in your speech, is like, I don't necessarily want to scale to some grand, huge thing. I want to have a wonderful house and a wonderful family and come home and play with my kids and have a good team, and take care of the 100,000 people in the rural areas that kind of surround my town.
Very cool. By the end of the year, what's one goal you want to accomplish? Just one.
I need to hire an associate. You didn't ask me that question. You said what my vision is. My one thing.
I did. I'm getting to it. So you want to hire an associate.
Yeah.
What are the things that you need to do on a daily or weekly basis to make that happen by the end of the year?
I got to come up with a job description. I got to probably make an appointment with Jay Henderson. I got to, let's see here, list the job description, find out places to list it, find a few quality candidates.
Probably interview some people.
Interview people, maybe do the 3-step process that Jay was talking about today.
Perfect. And did you put this on your calendar yet?
I just came up with it a minute ago.
I know. Are you going to put it on your calendar?
Yes, sir.
When are you going to commit to it?
Put it on my calendar?
No.
Or hire an associate?
No, right now, as we're talking, what time of day is usually best for you?
This is our conversation all the freaking time in the guild, by the way. Just let's put it on your calendar. Put it on your calendar. Did you put it on your calendar?
I'm going to make you commit to it, though.
When am I going to put it on my calendar, or when am I going to accomplish
What time of day is it going to be? What day of the week are you going to work on it?
Every Wednesday afternoon.
Okay, what time?
3 o'clock.
Okay.
No, actually, I should do it in the morning. That's when my brain actually works. So I'll do it at 10 o'clock every Wednesday, 10 to 11.
Absolutely. Perfect. That's it, right? So by January 1st, you're going to have a new associate. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you heard it first. All right. Round of applause. Bill Umansky, you're up next. The Law Man. So I got to keep the streak alive, though. That's right. That's right. Vision. Got it?
Yep.
What is it?
You know this. I came in from Las Vegas.
4 days in Vegas, which is insane.
It's actually 5 days, and my 22-year-old son had his first Vegas trip with a bunch of guys. All my college buddies came in for this trip, and why this is important about this conference and what this conference reinforced me was David Free's comment. Remember David Freeze from the beginning? And I had lunch with him. And I don't know how many of you caught this, but it was really, really cool, at least for me, was you can talk about tactics all day long. You can talk about tactics all day long, but if you don't have vision, you're not going to have the willpower to get the tactics done. I actually, like, Jim, you said you sit up here, you got to do the homework, you got to sit in the couch and do the homework. No, I don't want to do that homework if I have the vision. So you want the next question about the vision?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll just do the interview.
No. So the vision that I have is we implemented traction in our program, EOS, and that was to empower the attorneys, pay them more, pay the management team more, pay the intake people more. I kind of bitch because I'm like, damn, I'm making less money this year, but I'm freer than I've ever been before. So 2 weeks ago, I flew to Filevine just to support Ryan McKean, Jay, Rowan, Bill Carangulo, and to support them, to support these influencers, and to come here and speak, which was great. I kind of made some mistakes, but I enjoyed speaking.
It's live, right?
Yep. So my vision is to continue to be outside of my business. I didn't check any emails. The only time I checked my Slack for the number of signups that I have, which I'm maniacal, how many did we sign up? How much money did we generate? I have not done that in 8 days. 8 days. Yeah. I actually get really emotional about that because the only time I didn't is the guy that's sitting up there is a competitor of mine in Orlando, Joel Leopard, who's like, we need to raise our prices. And I was like, damn, I need to look at my Slack because I looked at it like right before he came on. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we raised our prices. I had to verify. I'm like, we did. We had it. So, but beyond that, I didn't look at everything. So my commitment is, other than our level 10 meetings, our management meetings that we have weekly, is I don't want to be involved with sales, intake, management, nothing. All I want to do, and I told you this, is I'm more vulnerable now. I have this tough guy exterior, but I'm pretty vulnerable. I mean, everyone who knows me is like, oh, you're really not that tough, right? So is I have a lot of friends that I support, and I want to help them build their businesses, but I also want to be vulnerable enough to now to ask them for help. And I've done that, like with Seth Price, who I've known for 11 years. I'm not his client, and I have a great company that works for me, but I want to scale more and build more. So, you know, I asked him for his help in a very vulnerable way, actually. So I just want to be here. You're going to ask the steps.
I'm going to ask you, what's your one goal that you want to accomplish after leaving this conference? So by the end of the year, what do you want to accomplish?
I don't want to be involved with any daily activity knowing what the signups are. I want to just, weekly meetings, I'll get the reports, but beyond that, if there's a problem, I need to step in, but I have other people that can step in. And by January 1st, I don't want to be involved with it all. And I don't need to have it on a note or a calendar. I'm driven to that. I think about it all the time, and going to these conferences and making those decisions and actions just keeps me motivated to do that.
Yeah, and if the calendar doesn't work for you, if the calendar doesn't work for you, you don't need it, right? I mean, if you're driven by that, you're driven by your vision, that's what you want to do, then that's great. It sounds like you're still in the works of getting this done. What do you need to do between now and the end of the year to actually make sure that that happens, though?
So we've implemented traction.
Yep.
And really, it's not what I need to specifically do. It's more about my mindset. Okay, because we have meetings, we have department heads, we have an org chart. Greg Goldenfarb, he obviously runs a great firm, and I don't go to see him speak because I went to his firm and he showed me his entire firm, and he gave that speech. He gives it in different ways, but he knows how to run an organization, and he's not in day to day, and that struck me. But it's a mindset thing. So for each of you, like out there, as you're trying to exit your business, I'm telling you that's the hardest thing to do, but you can't work on those building relationships with other people. I'm not talking about having the willpower to, I'll go to lunch with him and we'll get a case in the neighborhood. I like doing that, but if I'm doing that every day, I'm still in the business. There are other people. So we hired an attorney marketer, we hired a business development person, a PI marketer, Jeff. We had to hire a PM. We fired a PI marketer, hired someone. We're training them. So those are the steps that we're taking. I don't even want to rainmake anymore. I'll get cases in by naturally being loving and giving to other people, but I don't want to have to go to 3 lunches a week, set up 100 people meeting a day. I want out totally, and yet I still want to build my business.
I love it. So you have it. You have that vision. It's perfect.
Yeah, and coming here and listening to you guys and Jim and Seth Price. So, does everyone know Seth Price? So, I'll tell you, Seth owns Blue Shark. So, he came to me, and obviously, we had a private meeting, because I'm like, listen, I don't want to ruin my friends. I want to come to you. I want to sign up with you. But, my friend's running my SEO. He's like, he does this for a couple reasons, but generally, he's like, well, you need to get with my team. I'm not really running day to day. I know this consciously. But to hear him say, I'm out of my digital business, I'm in the conferences, meeting people, talking to people, I'm in a great space, that's what I do best, that's pretty amazing. So that was motivational. And you are amazing, and Jim's amazing, and all you guys here that spoke are amazing, and learned so much from each of you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. I love you.
All right, so Bill's a long talker, so I'm not going to call anybody else up here. You're good. Jim, you want to come up here and we'll say our goodbyes? Where's Jim? Okay. That's all we have. Unless, while we're waiting on them, does anybody else want to come up here and do that? I'll put you through the ringer. No? Does everybody have their one thing that they're going to focus on, their one goal that they're going to focus on before the end of the year? Anybody not have it yet? I don't expect you all to have it by now, because you have not gone through all the vision work yet. So spend a lot of time on that vision work over the next few days, then pick out the things you need to focus on, pick out your product goal, then pick out the process goals. It's really, really important. All right, I'm waiting for Jimmy. Jimmy is, and we'll say our goodbyes. Are there any questions? Anything you all want to ask about? No? Good. Oh, nice. I have actually a goal, my big time vision. You're talking about vision? You're talking about big time vision. Actually, in the next 10 years, I want to be a $10 million business is what I want to be. That's where I want to be. It's going to take a lot of cases to get there, but that's it. I was waiting for that question. I knew it was going to come. Bill.
You say $10 million business, but you've been building your PI business. What about using these other, is it $10 million in the PI business or also using other businesses to get to that mark?
Just PI business. Yep. And I'm not talking about like selling like one big case. I'm talking about consistently.
What are you going to do between now and January 1 to get that done?
Ooh, very good. Very good. I actually have not thought about between now and January 1 what I'm going to do about when it comes to the conference. I will tell you on a daily basis, my team can tell you on my calendar, I have every single thing that I need to do. So if I look at next week, you want that, Jimmy? So I actually have here my team recording, record video, systems, 9 o'clock. I've got that for actually 2 hours. I work on that for 2 hours, and that's on Thursday. I'm actually this is this Thursday, right? I've got my emails on there, right? I've got my business reading time, my litigation bonfire. I've got it all on my calendar, every single thing, because I know those systems. I know, and I've talked to my team about this, I'm way better off if I view the company as a tech company than a law firm. And so if I focus on the systems, building those systems, the firm's going to run itself, and we're going to need, honestly, less people. Or if we, not necessarily less people, but we can use our people more effectively. Good?
Do you have a trick for getting all that stuff on your calendar?
Just put it on Google. I use my Google Calendar.
Spend a bunch of time there and I'm going to do this.
No, it's the same things. It's those process goals. You do them consistently, right? You do them every single week. They don't change, right? You do them every single week. And every quarter, if your goals change, you change your process goals. Anybody else? Yeah. Jimmy, we're saying our goodbyes.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. It's been a great conference. I hope I know based on the feedback that we've gotten, this is always such a growth-oriented crowd that we rarely have many complaints, and we appreciate that. That makes our life easier. We're still figuring stuff out. Tyson and my project is to take Maximum Lawyer from a stage 1 outfit to a stage 3 outfit, and we're gonna get working on that, and we're excited about that with Becca's help. And we will see you all June 2nd and 3rd? 1st and 2nd? 2nd and 3rd. All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, everybody.
I'd look it up too. I'd look it
Loving you isn't